7 days in Thailand, and the first instinct of almost everyone who books it is to cover as much ground as possible. Bangkok, then Chiang Mai, then an island. 3 cities, 3 airports, 3 different versions of the country in 7 days. It sounds efficient. It is, in practice, a way of being everywhere in Thailand without actually being anywhere in it. You arrive in each place just as the city starts to make sense, and then you leave. This itinerary makes a different argument. Bangkok is not the introduction to Thailand. Bangkok is the destination, a city so dense, so layered, so relentlessly alive that most first-time visitors spend 3 days there and understand about 30% of what they were standing in the middle of. This itinerary gives Bangkok the time it actually requires, adds a single overnight escape close enough to reach without an airport, and builds the kind of trip that produces specific memories rather than a blur of temples and departure gates. 7 days. 1 city properly. 1 escape, deliberately chosen. No airports after you land. You arrive, and the first thing Bangkok does is overwhelm you, which is correct and expected and not a problem to be managed. The city is 17 million people, and all of them seem to be doing something urgent and specific at all hours. The traffic is a negotiation rather than a system. The smells change every 50 meters, and the distance between a golden temple spire and a street food cart selling something unidentifiable and extraordinary is sometimes about 4 meters. This is the city working as intended. The first evening is for letting it arrive without trying to organize it into anything useful yet. Find a place to eat near your accommodation by walking until something smells right. Eat it. Go to sleep early. Bangkok at 6 in the morning is a different city from Bangkok at midnight, and you want to be awake for both. Day 1 is for the old city and the river, and it should begin before 8 because the light and the crowds are both better before the tour groups mobilize. The Grand Palace and Wat Pho Cave are the obvious starting point, and they are obvious for legitimate reasons. The scale and the ornamentation and the sheer accumulated intention of the place are genuinely extraordinary in a way that photographs prepare you for intellectually but not experientially. Go early, dress appropriately, and give it more time than you think it deserves because it will use the time. The sarong requirement at the entrance is real, and the grounds are large enough that a 2-hour visit still feels incomplete. Walk south to Wat Pho afterward rather than taking a tuk-tuk. The street between them takes about 15 minutes on foot and contains several things worth noticing that a tuk-tuk moves past too quickly to register. Wat Pho's reclining Buddha, 46 meters long, covered in gold leaf, filling an entire building that was built around it, is one of those experiences that recalibrates your sense of scale in a way that is quietly disorienting. The temple complex surrounding it is less visited than the Grand Palace and proportionally more peaceful. By noon, the heat and the crowds have both built to levels that suggest lunch is a good idea. The correct lunch decision is to cross the Chao Phraya by ferry, 8 baht, 2 minutes, one of the best value transport experiences in Asia, to the Tien market on the far bank, where the restaurants serve people who work at the temples rather than tourists who visited them, and where the food is accordingly better and cheaper. Eat slowly. The afternoon can wait. The afternoon of day 1 belongs to the river, and the tool for the river is the Chao Phraya Express boat, the public ferry system that runs the length of the city along the main channel and connects to a network of klong, the canals that cut through Bangkok's older neighborhoods. A single day pass costs 40 baht. It moves faster than any taxi during peak hours. It costs less than any tuk-tuk, and the views from the water of Bangkok's skyline and temple spires and river traffic are the views that no street-level photograph captures. Take it north to the flower market at Pak Klong Telet in the late afternoon, when the vendors are at full operation and the colors and the smell are at maximum intensity, and then take it back south as the light goes golden and the city begins its evening reconfiguration. Day 2 goes deeper, and deeper in Bangkok means the neighborhoods that don't have a famous landmark attached to them. Yaowarat, Bangkok's Chinatown, is best approached on an empty stomach because the street food density per square meter is among the highest in the city. The neighborhood runs along Yaowarat Road and the streets that branch from it, and it operates with a particular intensity from mid-afternoon onward when the restaurants and stalls open and the neon signs come on, and the whole district begins its nightly performance of itself. This is where to eat dinner on day 2. Specifically, walk slowly, look for the stalls with the longest queues of people who are clearly not tourists. Order whatever requires pointing because the menu will be in Chinese and Thai and neither will help you, and eat standing up if that's how it's served. The crab omelet. The roast duck over rice. The mango sticky rice from the cart that has been in the same corner for longer than anyone can specifically remember. The morning of day 2 is for Wat Arun, across the river from the old city, which is less visited than Wat Pho and Wat Pho and more rewarding on its own terms. A tower covered in fragments of Chinese porcelain that catches the morning light in a way that no photograph fully captures. Surrounded by a temple compound that is functional and quiet and inhabited by monks who are conducting their actual daily practice rather than performing it for visitors. The climb to the upper terraces is steep, and the view from them across the river to the Grand Palace complex on the far bank is the view that organizes the geography of Bangkok's old city into something coherent. The afternoon belongs to Bang Lam Phu, the neighborhood around Khao San Road, which is worth visiting for exactly one reason that has nothing to do with its reputation as a backpacker district. The streets immediately surrounding Khao San Phraya River Road along the river, Samson Road heading north, are residential Bangkok, old wooden shophouses and neighborhood temples and small restaurants that have no reason to adjust themselves for international visitors because international visitors mostly don't find them. Spend the afternoon walking in the wrong direction from Khao San and see how quickly the tourist infrastructure disappears and the city reasserts itself. Day 3 is the day Bangkok shows you what it actually is, which requires getting away from the landmarks entirely. Take the BTS Skytran to Ari, a residential neighborhood in the north of the city that functions as the kind of place where young Bangkok professionals live and eat and spend their weekends. It has no famous temple. It has no night market on any list you'll find in a travel guide. What it has is the city operating on its own logic, coffee shops that opened because the owner wanted to open a coffee shop, not because the street had foot traffic from tourists, restaurants with handwritten menus and no English translation, a Saturday morning market that sells vegetables and grilled things to the people who live nearby. Breakfast here. Walk slowly. Pay attention to what a city of 17 million people looks like when it is not performing for anyone. The afternoon of day 3 is for the Jim Thompson House, which is the one museum in Bangkok that most visitors skip and most people who visit describe as one of the most memorable experiences of the city. Thompson was an American businessman who revived the Thai silk industry after the Second World War and disappeared in the Malaysian jungle in 1967 in circumstances that were never resolved. His house, a complex of traditional Thai structures he assembled and connected on a klong in the Siloam area, is exactly as he left it, full of Asian art and antiques and the particular atmosphere of a life interrupted mid-sentence. The guided tour is 45 minutes and genuinely worth every minute. Dinner on day 3 is in the Siloam area, which at night transforms into one of Bangkok's best concentrations of serious Thai restaurants. Not the tourist Thai, the kind of place where the menu has 30 dishes and the kitchen is serious about all of them and the clientele is mostly Thai and the noise level suggests everyone is having a better time than you expected. Order the green papaya salad and accept that it will be spicier than you prepared for. Order it anyway. Day 4 is the overnight escape, and the escape is Kanchanaburi. Kanchanaburi is 2 hours west of Bangkok by train, and the morning train from Thonburi Station, the original Bangkok terminus, now a quieter alternative to Hua Lamphong, is one of the last genuinely local train journeys available close to the capital. The carriages are old, and the windows open, and the countryside begins almost immediately outside the city. Rice paddies and orchards, and the slow widening of the sky that happens when Bangkok's density finally releases its hold. Kanchanaburi sits at the confluence of 2 rivers and is known internationally for the bridge on the River Kwai and the death railway built by Allied prisoners of war under Japanese occupation during the Second World War. The JATH War Museum and the Kanchanaburi War Cemetery are not optional if you go. They are the reason the town exists in international consciousness, and approaching them with the attention they deserve takes a full morning. The cemetery, in particular, with its 12,000 graves arranged in a landscape of extraordinary peacefulness, is one of those places that asks something of you and leaves you different for having been there. But Kanchanaburi is not only the war history, and spending only half a day here misses what the town offers beyond it. The rivers are genuinely beautiful and the town's raft houses, accommodation built on floating platforms on the quay, are one of the more unusual overnight experiences available within reach of Bangkok. The surrounding province has waterfalls, caves, and a tiger temple that has had well-documented welfare issues and should be avoided, but the natural environment around the town is the Western Thailand that most visitors to Bangkok never see. An afternoon on the river, a night on the water, a morning back on the train with the windows open and the countryside running past. This is the escape that earns its place in the itinerary. Days 5 and 6 bring you back to Bangkok for the parts of the city that require more than a first impression to access. Day 5 is for the museums, and specifically for the Bangkok National Museum, which is the largest museum in Southeast Asia and contains the most significant collection of Thai art and historical artifacts in existence, and is visited by a fraction of the tourists who spend their mornings queuing for the Grand Palace. The galleries run from prehistoric bronzes through Sukhothai and Ayutthaya period sculpture, through the development of Thai Buddhist art into its modern forms, and the progression of it. The way each period responds to and builds from the last is one of the clearest available narratives of Thai civilization for someone encountering it for the first time. Give it a full morning. The afternoon is for the Museum of Siam in the Old City, which covers Thai identity and history from a different and more contemporary angle, and is housed in a neoclassical building that is itself worth the visit. Day 6 is for the things that don't fit into categories. The Chatuchak Weekend Market. If Day 6 falls on a Saturday or Sunday, a market of 8,000 stalls covering 35 acres that sells everything from vintage furniture to live animals to handmade ceramics to street food, and which is best navigated by wandering without a plan and buying whatever catches your attention in the first 10 minutes before the heat builds. The rooftop bars in the Siloam and Sathorn area for the late afternoon, not for the cocktail prices, which are significant, but for the view of Bangkok from above, which at dusk, when the sky turns orange behind the office towers and the temple spires punctuate the skyline, is the Bangkok that all the photographs have been trying to capture. The night food market at or Tor Khor, adjacent to Chatuchak, which is the market where Bangkok's serious cookshop and where the produce and prepared food available is several registers above what the tourist markets offer. Day 7 is the last day, and it should be slow. Bangkok rewards slowness, more than almost any city in the world. The temptation on a last day is to fill it, one more temple, one more neighborhood, one more market. Resist it. Pick one place you didn't get to, go there properly, and spend the rest of the day in the city at whatever pace the city suggests. A long lunch. A coffee somewhere with good light. A final walk along the river at the hour when the monks are moving between the temples, and the ferry is running and Bangkok is doing what Bangkok does, which is live at full intensity in every direction simultaneously, without asking permission from anyone. You will leave having seen 30% of Bangkok. This is not a failure. Bangkok gives 30% in a week to anyone paying attention, and 30% of Bangkok is more than most cities offer in total. The other 70% is the reason people come back, which is the best thing a first trip to anywhere can leave you with, not the feeling of completion, but the specific, concrete knowledge of what you came back for. Thanks for watching. If you found this useful, smash that like button and subscribe to When to Travel. We're all about helping you make smarter travel decisions. Turn on notifications so you don't miss the next one, and hey, if you think your friends need this, share it. Comment below with your next destination or your biggest travel question. I'm reading all of them. Let's go.